Hey, this is Reid's Reviews. Today let's look at this TC Electronic DITTO X2 looper. This is a follow-up on the original TC Electronic DITTO looper. They've added a couple extra things. It's still a very, very basic looper. It does sound fantastic, but there aren't a lot of additional bells and whistles to it. Now, this might be a plus for a lot of people, but at the same time, it is pretty bare bones. I'm going to go over the different features, I'll demo it, and then I'll give you my thoughts on whether I'd recommend it or not. First, what we have here is your typical loop button. This will start and stop the loops as needed. The effect switch will trigger the effects that are available here. You have a reverse, which is kind of on a lot of loopers. I think it's a little gimmicky, but yeah, sure, there's some times where you would want it, I guess. Half speed, again, it's a little bit gimmicky, but maybe there's people that just have to have their loop be played back half speed. And then if you don't want an FX played here, but you want this just to be a single push stop, you can do that as well by pushing this toggle down to the bottom. Otherwise, you just double click the loop button to stop it. Now, over here, we'll have the store, which allows you to go ahead and store the loop to the unit, which then you could then upload it via USB through a cable into your computer. If you want to delete a loop that's currently in here, you can go ahead and push this up and hold it for a couple seconds. Another way to get rid of a loop is by holding down this. You can also bring a loop back by holding down this button for a few seconds. Another thing too is this backtrack level. Now you can bring in various backtracks. There's some that are provided by TC Electronic, and they're kind of cool. But when you bring them into the pedal from your computer, you can then have the volume of that backtrack be different than the loop volume that you've recorded. And you do that by holding this toggle switch down and changing the volume at the same time, and then letting go. So those are the basic features of this pedal. There's one other thing that I don't think I saw in the manual, but basically in the battery compartment, there's a little dim switch, and you can use that to change the behavior of this switch when you're recording. So when you first push down, it's always going to be record, but what happens when you push it once again, it will either go into a play, what you've recorded, or it will go into an overdub automatically. And that switch that's in the battery compartment will then allow you to change between those two. Personally, I like to go directly into playback when I select the loop button after I've recorded a loop, so I can hear what I've played before I go ahead and click it again and do the overdub. Some people like to go directly into the overdub, so it's just kind of a personal preference. You know, there's really not a lot to demo, honestly. This can do about 5 minutes of looping and unlimited overdubs, but there's really not a lot to it. I guess I'll show you the different FX, what they sound like. So first of all, I'm going to go ahead and record. I'll stop it. Now play it back. Now if I want to add half speed to it, I'll move this toggle switch in the middle, push the effects button. Again, I personally don't see much of a need for that. If I want to add reverse on top of that, I'll move this toggle switch up. And now you can hear both the half speed and the reverse. If I want to turn those off, I'll just click again. Now the reverse will be taken off. Now it's just half speed, and I'll move it to the middle where it's half speed, and I'll click again here. That gets rid of the half speed effect. Now, if I don't want to use these effects and I just want to use this button here as an immediate stop when I'm recording, there's the stop feature. Bring that down to the bottom. There you go. Otherwise, when you click here, I would need to click twice to stop it. If I clicked it once, it would go into overdub. So there you go. It's a pretty basic pedal. Do I recommend it? There might be some use cases. Now, sometimes, let me tell you, with some of the loopers, they get so much stuff on them that it gets a little bit overwhelming and maybe you just don't need it. And all you want is just like a very basic looper to add into some of your performances while you're playing. In that case, yeah, I think it's pretty cool and it sounds great. Now, if you're looking for something that you can jam along with, it has, rhythm tracks and that has more effects to select from, I probably would steer away from this. But I do say there has been times where I've wanted just a basic looper and I kind of get sick of all of the bells and whistles. I guess I'm on the fence with this one, and it really just depends on what you as a guitarist want. If you're just looking for something to record a loop of what you're playing and you want it to sound great, yeah, this is great. I don't think the effects are probably very useful, but the actual looper itself is nice. You might want to look just at the original Ditto, and that might be enough too if you're looking for just a basic looper. So hopefully this helps, gives you an idea of what this sounds like. But basically it does sound fantastic. It does have a nice sound. It does play your recorded loop really nicely. Hey, if you're into effects and you love guitars, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I'm constantly reviewing old and new pedals, and when I do, you'll be the first to know. Hey, thanks for watching. We'll talk to you later. Bye.